Hi friends, it's Kamal and you're watching Maths by Jajoria. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. In this video, I will explain non-linear equations and their graphs. I have covered the linear, or you can call straight line graph, in my previous video in details. However, I will go through this equation again, which I have already described in my previous video. For that, the general equation is y equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient, and c is the y-intercept. So I will explain to you that also in this graph. Before I move on to the graph, an equation of the line, which is y equal to 1.5x minus 2. Here, which I will explain and emphasize on more on m, because m is the gradient and how you actually find that. Okay, as I already said, if you want more details, just follow my previous video and you can go to the playlist as well. So once you add any kind of x value, that will give you y value, and this is what the straight line I have got from that. Okay, now here m is the change in y divided by change in x. So the m is the gradient, so that is change in y. So change in y, this is change in y is called. Okay, and that's divided by change in x value. So change in x here. Okay, so you see in this equation of line, which is x equal to 1.5x minus 2, this is the straight line we got. So here the m is change in y, this which is 3, and that divided by 2. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Now c is the y-intercept, which is minus 2, and this is where you got the y-intercept minus 2. Okay, now I will go through now quadratic graph, whose general equation is y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, now before I start this, in this equation, a, which is this, that will be the number, cannot be 0. Okay, so how would you recognize the quadratic graph? This is what I need to explain to you today. So the first, a cannot be the 0. Okay, so this a cannot be 0. Okay, the graph is symmetrical. So once we have the graph, I will explain to you what symmetrical means. It has a maximum or minimum value. Okay, so the graph will have a maximum minimum value, and the points are joined with smooth curve. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I think the best way to explain to you, just go through the equation, insert the values, and plot the graph, and then you will know. So you got here a quadratic equation, which is y equal to x squared minus 2x minus 1. All right, so if I add minus 2 in x, and this is what I will get. Okay, and that will give me right. 7. So when x is minus 2, the y is 7. Again, just I would like to emphasize here that when you have a negative number multiply with negative number, that gives you a positive number, just for the student who's not aware of these things. And the square means is here again, because it's a minus 2 multiply minus 2. Okay, so obviously you will get a positive number here, and same thing here. Okay, so I hope it's clear to you that. Right, and then move on to x value, which is minus 1. Okay, right, so that will give us okay, so if when x is minus 1, the y is 2. Right, I will go through a few more, and then we'll plot the graph. Okay, so when y is 0, so when is y is 0, that will give us a minus 1. Okay, so give us a minus 1. When x is 1, okay, so the when x is 1, that will give us a minus 2. Okay, you can put in bracket so that it doesn't confuse you. Okay, okay, let's go one more. Okay, when x is 2, so when x is 2, that will give us minus 1. Okay, right, we can add we can have an x value 3, and then y, that will give us y equal to 2, and when we will have x value 4, the when you solve this, that will give us y values 7. Okay, so you can do that one. Okay, just to save some time, concentrate more on the graph. I believe that you can get these values. Okay, so let's move on to this. As you know, this is a graph here, and the x and the y value here, this is 0 here. So when x is minus 2, okay, so this is your minus 2, this y 7, so 1, 2, so I think we better write like okay, so that will be easier for us as well, just in case we don't want to make mistake. So 1, that is 1, okay, not minus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, these points are positive, or this negative, and this negative as well. This side is positive. So okay, so let's get what we got here, x minus 2. Okay, that's minus 2 and 7. So this is 1 point we got here. Okay, then we got x minus 1, which is here, and y is 2. Sorry, x is minus 1, which is here, and that's 2. 0, x is 0, and y is okay, 1, x value is 1, then y is minus 2. x is 2 and y is -1, then x is 3, y value is 2, and when is 4, the y value is 7. Okay, now as it says, it has a maximum and minimum value. So you will see when I draw this, so the points are joined with smooth curve. Okay, so we just have to join this smoothly. So I just have to do this now. Okay, so just ignore this part here and then join though. So right, so more or less like this. So when it's now we go with this one now. So here it says the graph is symmetrical. So you see, if I take this point here and just draw one line. Okay, so you see the symmetry. You can say this is a symmetry line. So you see the graph like this, and then this is the symmetry line, and then so this graph is symmetrical. So this is what exactly mean that like a U shapes, and that's why they say the graph is symmetrical. Okay, and obviously it has a maximum and minimum values, right? So you have the maximum and the minimum values of that as well. So this is the example of the quadratic graph. Okay, when the equation is y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, now I hope this is clear to you now, and before I move on to the other graph, okay, because today I will discuss few graphs so that student those are preparing for the exams, they understand just by looking at the graph what type of graph that would be. Okay, and that will be easier for you in the exam to solve as well. Okay, so the next one is a cubic graph. Okay, now in the general equation for the cubic graph, that would be y ax cube. Okay, so that will be the cube. So previous one was plus, previous one was just like square, but this is a cube one. Okay, plus bx square plus cx and plus d. Okay, so again where a always a is the number, a cannot be 0. All right, the graph has a rotational symmetry. So obviously I will explain to you that as well once the graph is done. Okay, so I have graph here at the bottom, so we'll go through that later on once we plot all the values. Points are joined with a smooth curve like the previous one, and the graph crosses the x-axis at 1 or 3 points. So we will see this as well. Okay, how your cubic graph will look like. Okay, so to achieve this, first we need to insert some of the values, x values, and get y, simplify the equation and get the y values as well. Okay, I already have got this here. Okay, however, we need to simplify this equation and get the values. So let's go with that. So when so let's say the x equal to, you can use a calculator in this one if you want to, whichever way you prefer. Okay, so when x is equal to 0.5, okay, so we have to have these points, then the y value would be so I will do few of this. Okay, so few x values, we will insert a few x values, and then the rest you can I hope you can manage that. Okay, so you have this value now here, So as I said, that you can use a calculator. I'm not sure whether in exam they will allow a calculator or not, but however, this is how you will simplify and get the value of y, right? Okay, so that the y, it gives us y value of minus 2.625. I think we can just go with 0.62, so that should be okay. So here you got here like minus, so when the x value is 0.5, the y value is 2.62, right? Okay, now when x is 1, okay, then so let's go with that as well. Okay, so this is what we got now. Yeah. That gives us 0. Okay, so when the x value is 1, the y is 0. Okay, so that we got 0 here, right? Okay, so we can do one more value, and then I'll go straight to the graph, right? I hope that would be okay with you guys. Okay, so in this one, we'll say x is equal to 1.5. Okay, so what the value of y would be? Okay, let's see what you got, right? So 1.5, okay, and yeah, okay, right. So let's get this sorted. Okay, so calculate this one. Okay, so this is what you will get, 1.5. So you got 0.625. Okay, so let's solve this as well. Okay, right. Okay, so we can add these, this and this here, because this is a positive number. Okay, and that will give us approximately this value. All right. Now, I believe you can carry on with the x value and get the y value by inserting x value as 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, or 4.5. And this is what you will get. Okay, so let's draw this cubic graph. Okay, right. Okay, in here we have x, so this is x 0.5. This is so we can take this one here, and y value is 2.62, so it's 1, 2, and that's 3 to 3, so is somewhere, we can say somewhere here, okay, approximately, right? And when x is 1, 0, so 1.5 is here, okay, and then you got 0.625, okay, so that's half, and then just right here, okay, and it's 2, 0, okay, then you got 2.5 here, and then you got 1, and just over 1.12, which is in minus, okay, so here, so that is minus, okay, don't forget that is minus, yeah, right. What else we got here? We got 3, then it's got 3 here and minus here, okay, then we got 3.5 and minus 1.8, so you got 1.8, so it's very close to 2, so somewhere here, okay, then 4, 0, right, 4.5, then we got here 4.3, so what was that, 4.5 here, then y value is 4.3, so 4 here, so well, we can say somewhere here, okay, all right, so right, there's I think with the first value 0.5, rather than negative, sorry, it was negative 2 point, not positive 2.62, so I will just cancel this, sorry about this. When the x is 0.5, then the y value is minus 264, so we'll go this side, so minus 2.62, okay, here, okay, so please ignore this bit, okay, so cancel this, cancel this one, right, okay, so let's draw this graph, okay, then right, so this will be our cubic graph when you have equation y equal to x cubed minus 7x squared plus 14x minus 8. So you see here the graph has a rotational symmetry. So this is a rotational symmetry. It's called rotational symmetry. Okay, and the graph crosses the x-axis at 1 or 3 points. So here crosses one or 3 points. So here you got here crosses on the x-axis 1 or 3 points. So you see here you already have these points here. Okay, 3 points there. Okay, so depending on the examiner in exam, what kind of question would be actually given to you regarding your cubic graph, whatever it would be. Sometimes they give you some values as well, x values and y values. Sometimes they leave some of them, so you need to simplify that. So that's why I thought the best way to go through first how you get these values, and when it comes to drawing the graph plotting all the values in the graph, you know how the cubic graph will look like. Okay, right, now the next thing I just wanted to cover one more, okay, and that will be a reciprocal graph. Okay, so in reciprocal graph, the general equation is y equal to a divided by x plus b, okay, where x cannot be 0. The graph has a rotational symmetry and points are joined with a smooth curve. the graph does not cross the x-axis. So this is how you know that this is a reciprocal graph. Okay. To get the values, as I said, that we have to simplify this equation, right? I have got the values here, but however, we will just go through that as well, just to try to simplify these. So let's say the x value here is minus 6. X value is minus 6. So y would be 12. Okay. So that's minus 6 is plus 1. Okay, so that will give us minus 2 plus 1, which is equal to minus 1. Right? So this is when you have x equal to 6. The x is minus 4. So y would be 12 divided by minus 4 and then plus 1. That is minus 3 plus 1 minus 2. Okay, so that is minus 2, right? Because I have got the values here, I'll just go through some of the values inserted in the equation so that we can get the values, and you know how actually we solve this, how we get the values. Okay, so again, x is minus 2, y equal 12 divided by minus 2, okay, plus 1. Okay, that will give us minus 6 plus 1 equal minus 5. Okay, so when value is 2, get that from the left hand. Let's do one more. Okay, x is equal minus 1. Okay, so y is equal to divided by minus 1 plus 1. That is give us minus 12 plus 1 equal minus 11. So minus 11, right? And so on. Okay, so let's get some positive value as well in x. So I do 1 for you, and the rest I will leave with you. Otherwise, this video will be really long. 1. So y is okay, 1 this time. Sorry, x is 1 this time, and that will give us y value as 13. So y value as 13. Okay. Now I have calculated also when the x value is 2, that will give us y7, and the x value is 3, give us y value would be 5, and 6 and 3, so on, right? So these are the values for the reciprocal graph. Okay. Okay, so now what we'll do, we will just draw this. Okay, so this graph may go out of this grid because of the values. However, we will see how we can put this on this grid. Hopefully should be okay, right? So x is minus 6 here. So obviously this is gonna go probably out of here. So anyway, let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say just presume that this point is minus 6, okay, and then you got y value is minus 1, so that is the y value is minus 1 here. Okay, so that one is here, and then you got minus 4 here, so I think that will be very close to that one. So we might take some values here. So let's presume that's 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, or let's say it's minus 4, and then we can say this one minus 6, right? Okay, so should be okay. I just presume this is minus 6 this side here. Okay, minus 4, and then is 2, so that should be okay. Okay, then you got x value minus 2, and then it's minus 5, so it's 1, 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. So that is here. Okay, then you got x value minus 1 and 11. So let's presume this is, so here minus 11. Okay, so we got this point here. Okay, right? So if I draw this one here, then this value will be something like this. Okay, okay, it will something like this. Okay, so if I just draw here, if that value we would have correctly on the graph, because it was just going out of graph, minus 6 here and minus, you would have something like this. Okay, something like this, right? So we can go with this one now. Rest of this, let's complete this. So when x value, so this is positive now, 1, then again 13 is, so well, let's presume this here 13, 1, so we can take 1 point here. Okay, so let's say this is 13, 2, okay, and 7, so we can take somewhere here. Then you got 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then you got x value 6. So somewhere we can take again, as I said, if we go out of that one, and then is 3. So something like this. However, if we would had this grid and we have used these points correctly, you would have something like this. Okay, a bit curved. Because the values went out of the grid, that's why we're just not getting exactly what we should have. But I hope you understand this one. Okay, if you want me to cover the reciprocal graph in the next video, you can drop the comments in the comment box. Then I can go through this with the proper, probably the full size of the grid on the paper, and we can go through the points again. And this is more or less okay, and I hope you like this. And do me a favor, if you find this video informative, please like and subscribe this video. I know this video been a bit longer than my previous one, but I had to cover this 3 types of graphs. And click the like button, drop the comments if you have any questions, and I will do my best to reply. Thank you.